Australian Supercars team Red Bull Ampol Racing has officially signed Will Brown to a 3-year deal starting in 2024. Now, you regular watchers on here are probably NASCAR fans and are wondering, why am I talking about Red Bull Ampol Supercars team? Like, what? That's so random. It ties to NASCAR. Yes, I am not randomly talking about some Supercars team. No. You see, because Red Bull Ampol Racing, I'm pretty sure I'm saying that right. I know I'm saying the Red Bull part right. Because Will Brown, who's formerly with another team, is now going to Red Bull Ampol Racing, also known as 888. That means that Shane Van Gisbergen, who has driven in the NASCAR Cup Series now twice, has a 50% winning percentage. What a loser, right? I know, seriously. That's a joke for people who can't pick up sarcasm. That means he is officially released from his contract with that team. Of course, SVG has been a Supercars guy his entire life. Well, most of his life. I know he's done some other things as well. But he is known for his Supercar success. He's won 3 championships. He's won over 70 races, I want to say. Maybe 80. I don't know the exact number. I don't keep up with Supercars. But SVG now is allowed to pursue NASCAR officially. Like, he was already doing it, but he is now allowed to sign with a NASCAR team. He's been talking about how he won't sign anything, he won't do anything until he is officially, or until his old Supercars team, 888 Red Bull Ampol, officially had their guy, had a driver that they wanted in that seat, and now they have just that. So no more stress for SVG in terms of finding his replacement. But of course, he's still in the middle of his Supercar season fighting for a championship. Here's what the thing said, the press release, sorry. So it talks about the new guy coming in, Will Brown, and then it says the announcement comes as the team has agreed to allow Shane SVG Van Gisbergen to explore his dreams to race in overseas categories in 2024 and beyond. In the meantime, the team's full focus is on our 2023 championship assault. Jamie Wincup, team principal of Red Bull Ampol Racing, said, "As we've made clear from the very start, 888 wholeheartedly supports SVG's decision to showcase his world-class talent abroad, and we look forward to watching him continue to tear up the track like we witnessed in Chicago last month." So yes, that is the extent of SVG. From this press release from 888, it's pretty straightforward. SVG is officially out of his contract at the end of 2023. He is allowed to pursue or sign a deal elsewhere. That'd be a little bit funny if he went and signed for another Supercars team. It's not going to happen. He's fully committed to this NASCAR thing. Justin Marks, the team owner, he has been talking about getting him a deal. He wants him to be at Trackhouse, of course. They had their first race together. They had their success together in that Chicago street race. SVG, 2 top 10s in his career in the Cup Series side of things. Trackhouse got him set up in the Truck Series at Nice Motorsports to get his first oval start at IRP. But there's an interesting article about SVG and his future, and Justin Marks, the team owner, once again, of Trackhouse Racing, the team that SVG will probably go to in the Cup Series. He kind of was talking about how SVG is going to do next year and what their plan is and how it's a little bit more calculated. It's not just throw them in there and give them all 36 races next year. It's a little bit more calculated. Here's some of the quotes from that NBC Sports article. "We have to be very, very calculated and intelligent about how we build a program for him. If he wants to come do this full time, it doesn't make sense to just win in the Chicago race, come run 10th at Indy, and then just go Cup racing full time. Darlington and Dover, 600 miles at Charlotte, 500 laps at Bristol, those are lifts for someone who's never done that kind of race thing before, so we have to be really smart about how we build the program around him. Trackhouse is a NASCAR Cup Series team. We're not an Xfinity team, we're not a truck team, we're not an ARCA team. So we have to lean on partners and how we sort of build that program, which is sort of what we're in the middle of right now." So what Marks is saying is we're not going to throw him straight into it because really, that'd be a little bit cruel. No disrespect to SVG and his driving talents. We've all seen it in the Chicago street race when he won that one. Even at Indianapolis, he made some great moves there. But the fact of the matter is that this is a whole different ballgame for him. I'm not saying that he's going to suck at this or anything. We've seen his talent. We've seen guys adapt to the oval racing, or at least improve over time. And we've seen guys make this transition before. Remember Marcos Ambrose back in the mid 2000s to early 2010s, and he won some cup races. Now they were all on road courses, but there were a couple times he was competitive on ovals. He got better as time went on. So for SVG, it's going to be about learning those ovals, getting better at those ovals. And it's going to be tough. It will be tough, but the fact of the matter is, throwing him into a full season immediately, those ones like the Coca-Cola 600, the Southern 500, the Bristol Night Race. If you're not a NASCAR fan, if you're a Supercars fan just watching for SVG, those are probably the most demanding races on the NASCAR schedule. The Coca-Cola 600 is the longest race mileage-wise. The Southern 500 is usually the longest race time-wise. And the Bristol Night Race is a half-mile short track that you go 500 laps around. So those are probably the three toughest, I would guess. I don't know. I don't drive cars. So, I drive a street car, but, not a race car. I don't have to wear a helmet and everything. And the speed limit's usually like 50. So, yeah, for legal reasons, that's the highest I go. But, yes, of course, that would be a very tough transition to go straight to a full-time Cup season, to go to these big events. I'm not saying that he's going to choke under the pressure, but the fact of the matter is it's going to be extremely tough physically, mentally, to go to these races. Some of these Cup guys, they've trained for it their entire lives, their entire careers. They've been looking to get to NASCAR, and once they get there, they've gone through the ranks. So it sounds like that they're going to talk to some of their partners, whether that be sponsors or other Xfinity and truck teams. I know they have some sort of deal or alliance or partnership with Nice Motorsports, so we may see SVG back in the 41 truck again. We may see him in the Xfinity series. But it's three completely different cars. The truck, the Xfinity car, and the Cup car are very different. I don't know where. I think in this article it talked about how there's some pit crew members supplied to Colleague from Trackhouse, so maybe they could get him in that all-star car. Colleague has a third Xfinity car that is a part-time car. Like, you'll see a bunch of Cup regulars in there. You'll see AJ Allmendinger on the road courses. You'll see Kyle Busch on the occasional oval, and then you'll see just whoever they can get in there. Kyle Larson. So maybe they can get SVG in there for a couple of races to help learn the oval, establish himself to get used to this thing. So we'll see what he ends up doing next year. I'm still on the prediction. He's not going full-time next year in any series, but I'm still on the prediction that they'll just randomly throw him in a truck series race, an Xfinity race, a Cup race. Somewhere in this article it said something about ARCA. Oh boy. ARCA is a choice. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. For those who don't know, ARCA is like kind of a meme. Don't get me wrong, they have some really talented drivers, but the meme is like about the car's brakes. The ARCA brakes, like when there's wrecking ahead, they don't know how to brake. I'm over-explaining. Anyways, SVG. What will he do in 2024? When will it be announced? We'll see, but it looks like he is officially getting that opportunity in NASCAR with being released from his contract in Supercars. We'll see how he ends up doing in NASCAR, but once again, I think that it's going to be a mixture of series that he's going to be in. Truck Series, Xfinity Cup. He'll get his opportunities next year to showcase his speed, to learn about the ovals, the different types of ovals as well, whether it's a short track like Martinsville, a slow short track like Martinsville, a fast short track like Bristol, an intermediate track like Texas, or a super speedway, Daytona, Talladega. Is he going to race the Daytona 500? That'd be quite something. But thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff. We got our sixth championship case this afternoon. It's going to be Ross Chastain, speaking of Trackhouse Racing. And we will talk about him, his championship hopes, and how he can win the championship. So, yeah, thank you again for watching. I'll see you in that one this afternoon.